Whoa! Here's the Black Grinch that stole BF. That's right, the Black Grinch that stole BF. Hey, have you been listening to the Black Friday specials? Are you thinking, hey, I can get a great deal on a car. Hey, I can get a great deal on furniture. Hey, I can get a great deal on phone. Hey, let's go to Best Buy. Let's get a new flat TV. It's usually $500, but now it's $200. Is that you? Has the Black Grinch not convinced you? Don't go out on Black Friday. If you do not go out on Black Friday, you will save it. I'm just looking at my hair, man. It's looking pretty cool. It's growing more on the top than on the side. Wow. But let's get back to it. I don't want you to go out. You can save at least $115 to $240 to almost $370. Stay home this Friday. Why are you going to go to the mall? I was like in front of Best Buy yesterday, looking at all the carts outside. You're just lambs to the slaughter. What are they saying? They're saying, you know what? All we need to do is offer some discounts on stuff. We'll get the sheep in, and then we'll suck all their money out of them, and then they'll go home, and then 2 days later, that stuff will break because we've had it in the back for about 2 years. We can't sell it. We can't send it back to the warehouse. But here comes Black Friday. All these people thinking they're going to get a deal. We'll get them in here. Hey, do you want a Best Buy credit card? Hey, while you're buying that, why don't you buy that? You're like, oh, yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. Then when it's all said and done, you're going home with like $1,000. And you got to figure out how to get like a giant 70-inch flat TV up the stairs. Don't do that, man. This is the time where you have to make a stand. There's no reason to be going out for Black Friday. There's nothing on sale. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? After the 2008-2010 recession, everything is on sale now. If you wanted to get a real Black Friday, you should have bought everything between 2008-2010. You would be rich now. Going out now, you're just wasting money. Like I told you before. If you're working at a fulfillment/warehouse like Calvin and I did at Petavina Mold and Dye, you know those places are at least overstaffed by 40 to 50% of the people. Calvin and we ran a 40,000 square foot warehouse, two of us. And I think maybe one time before I almost left, we hired another person. I actually ran the front office. I made sales calls. I went and collected money. I put checks in the bank. Calvin and I put together parts. We started, three of us. We ran like these giant injection molding machines. So those of you who are any type of warehouse fulfillment/job, you guys are going to be the first ones to be cut. At least back then, we didn't have any automation. And just think the cost to wear goggles and vest and to put the line for you to follow like a rat. Come on, man. You know those places are overstaffed. So you guys especially shouldn't be going out for no Black Friday, because if they don't make the profit margin that they're going to make, probably after January, you're going to get your Black Friday gift. You know what it is? A layoff notice. And hey, some of you working in manufacturing, is your employer going to leave California? I'm in California. You know, we used to have all businesses. My friend worked at Carl's Jr. You know what Carl's Jr. said? Hey, we're moving to Tennessee. Come with us. Lose your job. Same with the friend she did finance at Toyota. Hey, we're moving to Texas. Come with us or hit the road. Is your company leaving? I had some friends come to a company. The company was gone. Like, what happened? They just moved and fired everyone. So like I'm saying, it even happened to me. I even worked at a job. I got fired and he bounced my final 2 paychecks. I don't know if he went out of business or not, but that happens, man. And that, you know, that money that can help you get through this crisis is the BF money, Black Friday money. That Black Friday money could be the difference between you eating, putting food on a credit card, paying 18 to 20%. Remember, like the old man rant. In my day, at least the credit card was 3%, 5%. Hey, maybe almost 7% if you had enough money. Now, interest rate is basically zero. You might as well not even put the money in the bank. The only reason I put the money in the bank is I'm afraid I have like this little box that I try to keep everything in. I'm afraid I lose the box or lose the key and I can't get into the box. Other than that, you might as well put the money in the right, like, what is this like? That guy, Escodoba, you might as well put the money in the dirt because you're earning about the same amount of money. By the time you go to the bank, wait in a line, fill out the form, wait for 20 other people. There's 12 little windows, but only 2 are open. You might as well have just left the money at the house. So I don't want that to be you. Remember, I told you about my story. Remember how I lost 2 duplexes? I had to at least spend $10,000 on a lawyer to get the probate started for my grandmother's estate. I had 2 duplexes. The tenants weren't paying. So I was taking money out on a Bank of America line of credit, and I had to pay it. So I was basically starving, man. And then I tried to work a job at Macy's where I was doing receiving, and I just sucked at it and got fired. That was my extra money. That was my eating money. Everyone else was getting paid but me. There's nothing going into my belly. Luckily, I saved a little bit of money. How about like $50, $75 put away to get me a shirt, to get me to the interview, to eventually get me hired as a cashier, where I finally got a little extra money to eat, a little bit of breathing room. But you know what? During that recession time and when I was going through all these hard times, there was no Black Fridays. I think maybe 2 years ago, I did a Black Friday thing where I bought a Macintosh computer. That's the only Black Friday thing I've ever bought. Other than that, I mean, I can't wait 11 months out of the year to get to November 27 or whatever it is, 29th, to buy something for the house. And then, I mean, what does that say about me? That's like saying, okay, I'm not going to eat for 12 months. Well, I'm not going to eat for 10 months, but this 1 month out of the year, I'm going to eat to help me last the whole entire year. I mean, the logic it's baffling. But what does that say? It says something about the country. Because before, we were a country that we were able to export, import stuff. We actually produced stuff. But now, basically, unfortunately, we're just a country that makes videos like this where, what is it? You're an influencer. Can you help us influence? You know what they're saying? Can you help us sell? That's it. Can you help us sell? So that is what has happened. And that's why all it is now, since the Great Recession in 2008, 2010, there's no such thing as Christmas. There's no such thing as Thanksgiving. All it is do you have enough money to eat? That's how it should be. But kind of like things have picked up a little. So people have been, hey, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to look cool. I just think to myself, why? These are about to hit the fan, man. Soon as this impeachment stuff is over, these countries will realize, okay, Trump's leaving. Well, there's no use to us really keeping a lot of jobs around because he won't talk about it. And then they're going to start cutting people, and then we'll be in another recession. It'll probably be worse. It could be possibly worse than 2010 recession, because what will end up happening is we have a lot of baby boomers who thought, okay, I have a house that's worth money. Because like I told you about my grandmother, she thought she had a retirement, but then Sears bought Kmart, and then eventually she had no money, and I ended up taking care of her. And that can happen to a lot of these people who so-called, like GE, froze their retirement plan. So anyone who was a retiree getting money is not going to any type of raise. So what it's saying is, even if you think you have a house, you think, oh, I'll sell my house and I'll have money to live on. Well, what happens if no one buys any houses? Remember during the past recession? Only the past 2 or 3 years you've seen the housing go up. Mostly a lot of housing, only housing that's really selling is sort of the new housing where they're getting people to buy. But if you try to sell, what would you rather buy? Would you rather buy a house that's 20 or 30 years old? Oh yeah, I'm going to pay $500,000 for your house. Well, I could get a house that's twice as big for the same price. No. Now, if you drop the price, I like the area, then, we can talk. But a lot of people don't get that. So you're going to have a lot of people who are retiring just thinking, hey, we're going to sell our house if times get tough. And no one's going to buy the house. And then the house is going to sell for cheap. And we'll have their second housing recession. So with all that based on everything I've told you, you should be thinking to yourself, maybe I'll wait till January 2020. Then if I do like Martin said and put about $155 to $315 to $457 away, hey, you can open up that money, and if things are going well, hey, go out there, then buy yourself a Christmas present. But until then, I don't want you going out. I don't want you to waste any money. I want you to avoid BF. Do not get BS by the BF.